Hi! Today I'm going to read from Ripped from the Pages, a bibliophile mystery by Kate Carlisle. Won't this be fun? My mother squeezed me with painful enthusiasm. 2 whole months, living right next door to each other, you and me will be like best girlfriends. Or double homicide victims, my friend Robin muttered in my ear. Naturally, my mother, who had the ultrasonic hearing ability of a fruit bat, overheard her. Homicide? No, none of that talk. Leaning away from me, she whispered, Robin, sweetie, we mustn't mock Brooklyn. She can't help finding, dead bodies. Mom, I don't think Robin meant it that way. Of course she didn't, Mom said, and winked at Robin. Robin grinned at me. I love your mom. I do too, I said, holding back a sigh. Mom had a point, since I did have a disturbing tendency to stumble over dead bodies. She was also right to say I couldn't help it. It wasn't like I went out in search of them, for Pete's sake. That would be a sickness requiring immediate intervention and possibly a 12-step program. Hello, my name is Brooklyn, and I'm a dead body magnet. Robin's point was equally valid too, though. My mother and I could come very close to destroying each other if Mom insisted on being my BFF for the next 2 months. Even though she'd raised her children in an atmosphere of peace and love and kindness, there was a limit to how much of her craziness I could take. On the other hand, Mom was an excellent cook and I could barely boil water, so I could definitely see some benefit to hanging around her house. Still, good food couldn't make up for the horror of living in close proximity to a woman whose latest idea of a good time was a therapeutic purging and bloodletting at the new Panchakarma clinic over in Glen Ellen. I focused on that as I poured myself another cup of coffee and added a generous dollop of half and half. A few months ago, my hunky British ex-MI6 security agent boyfriend, Derek Stone, had purchased the loft apartment next door to mine in San Francisco. We decided to blow out the walls and turn the 2 lofts into one big home with a spacious office for Derek and a separate living area for visiting relatives and friends. A reliable builder had promised it would only take 2 months to get through the worst of the noise and mess, so Derek and I began to plan where we would stay during the renovation. I liked the idea of spending time in Dharma, where I'd grown up, but live in my parents' house for 2 months, even though there was plenty of room for us? Never! It would be disastrous, I'd concluded. Derek's look of relief had been profound. We're in complete agreement as usual, darling. Am I being awful? My parents are wonderful people. Your parents are delightful, he assured me, but we need our own space. Right. Space. I knew Derek was mainly concerned about me. He'd be spending most weeks in the city and commuting to Sonoma on the weekends. His Pacific Heights office building had 2 luxury guest apartments on the top floor, one of which would suit him just fine. I could have stayed there with him, of course, but that would have meant renting studio space at the Covington Library up the hill from my work. This would entail packing up all my bookbinding equipment and supplies, including my various book presses and a few hundred other items of importance to my job. Those small studio places in the Covington Library basement, while cheap, were equipped with nothing but a drafting table and 2 chairs, plus some empty cupboards and counters. I'm a bookbinder specializing in rare book restoration, and I was currently working on several important projects that had to be delivered during the time we would be away from home. The original plan of staying with my parents, while less than ideal, would have allowed me access to my former mentor's fully stocked bookbinding studio just down the hill from my parents. Abraham Karastovsky had died more than a year ago, but his daughter, Annie, who lived in his house now, had kept his workshop intact. She had also given me carte blanche to use it whenever I wanted to. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and if you would like to learn more about Ripped from the Pages or the Bibliophile Mysteries or Kate Carlisle, check out the links below. You can go right to her website. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you soon.